Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm so excited to be joined by Maria today. We met on Instagram maybe like about a year ago and have collaborated on previous podcasts. And she's just such a big and beautiful light in the world doing powerful things. So I'm really excited to have her here on Fulfilled Femme Entrepreneur. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast, Maria.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and thank you for your kind words. You're doing that bright light work as well, so I see you, and it's been so lovely to be connected with you. So thanks again for having me.
Of course. I'm excited to introduce you to her. She is the creator and founder of Sea of Light, and she's a channel of energy using crystals and writing and music and sound healing to make her impact on the world. She is a multidisciplinary artist seeking to provide spaces of comfort and light through all of her mediums. We are going to leave links to her social media pages and her website in the show notes so that you can connect with her and check out all the crystals that she has on her beautiful site as well. Today, she's going to be talking about manifestation, but what crystals you can use in the manifestation process. And I love how multi-talented you are and how you use all these different mediums to just be like a big ray of light in the world. So I'm sure all you listeners will get a taste of all that she does on the episode today. So I'm excited to dive in.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yes. So this is called Fulfilled Femme Entrepreneur, and the podcast is all about helping them to create fulfilling lives and businesses. So I really love to hear from you. What does fulfillment mean to you in your life?
Fulfillment to me means that I'm doing things that like quite literally just fill me up. Spending my energy in places that don't feel like a path of resistance, don't feel like have tos, don't feel like shoulds, doing things that just, for other people, but in a way that feels good to you, in a way that fills you up and lifts you up. So for example, like working with crystals, it's just an absolute joy. Like every single crystal I come into contact with, I'm in love with. And so for me, I am just like the happiest person because I get to work with all of these beautiful materials and all of these beautiful things that the earth made. And then once you share that with somebody and their reaction, their love, or the comfort that it provides them, or whatever it means to them, it's just like multifold of happiness and good energy. And to me, that's fulfillment.
I love that. I love the piece, especially that you said about not having to do things because that you should or that they're to-dos, but like doing it for the love and that exchange with someone. I think that that's so, so powerful. So within all the different mediums that you use with music, with sound healing, with crystals, what's the most fulfilling part of doing all that you do in your business?
It always goes down to those moments, like the moment somebody opens the gift or they open their envelope and seeing their reaction, or when I'm singing and I'm on stage and I'm just in my perfect bliss place, because that is really my happy place. I love to be in that moment of making the music, making the sound, and also creating the art, like creating the jewelry. It's also my happy place. So it's those little moments, and they add up.
Yes. And I think that that's so important when it comes to fulfillment too, is having those little moments and being really present and grateful for them every step of the way, instead of feeling like, oh, once I achieve the big things, hit certain monetary things in your business, or being on a stage in front of thousands and thousands of people, like not waiting for those moments to be able to embrace it. So I love that message. And
have goals, have challenges, and that's not to say that my business doesn't have its challenges. I've been working very hard, and sometimes there's lows, but it really is about focusing on those moments and the joy and the reason that you do it, and everything else kind of learn and it falls into place and things work out.
I love that. And what led you into exploring all these artful like mediums to be a channel for light? Like, do you want to share a little bit about your journey to getting to where you are?
Yeah, sure. I think it was kind of things that have been with me. Not the crystals. The crystals came into my life later. Like I was always writing songs as a kid on the piano. My parents put me in lessons when I was 5 or 6, and so music was always a big part of my life. But it was this kind of weird thing when I was younger of I wanted to do it, but I was kind of too scared to admit that I actually wanted to do it. And so then it was just all about like the Royal Conservatory exams and the competitions, and it kind of became something where I had to do it for just getting a check mark on a piece of paper rather than I want to do this because I actually love music. And I actually did get into a music school when I was in high school a year early. And for some reason, I was persuaded not to go to the music school, and I ended up going to a different high school. And like, so my life took all these different paths before I actually ended up in this place I am now, where I'm doing all these different types of arts. I did go to university. I got a great job, and I worked at that job for almost 10 years. And it was fulfilling in its own way, but it was also hard for me and my physical abilities. And so, actually, it was actually my health that was the reason that I was pushed fully into being who I am. I got really, really sick when I was back in 2016 with an autoimmune condition that had actually stopped me in my tracks. I wasn't able to walk for almost 6 months. It was a thing of the muscles and the inflammatory, but it was also definitely deeply emotional. And it's something that I've been able to come out of. But basically, when I was at a full stop, the only thing I had was my poetry, my music. And so as soon as I was able to walk again, able to do things again, there was no second guessing in my mind that I wasn't going to do music, that I wasn't going to write poetry, that I wasn't going to do these things. I was partially sick because I was doing all the things I thought I was supposed to do in life and checking all the boxes that other people had presented to me, and like very severely shutting down the core parts of me that just needed to exist and needed to be in the world. And so getting sick was kind of the biggest blessing in my life, because it was my body saying, like, you have a choice here. Like, you got to listen to yourself, or I'll just keep fighting you and you'll just stay sick. And I'm in the best health that I've been, and that's because I'm not resisting anymore. And I'm very lucky to be able to do all these things. But yeah, it was my body.
Wow. Wow. I love how you said that being sick was almost like a gift for you, that you had to pause and you had to ponder your life and make those choices about what path that you would take. And I think often in life, especially when we're looking on social media or we're looking at celebrities, they make it seem like it's this easy one-track road. And it's interesting to hear so many successful people and people that are really fulfilled in their businesses having these big plot twists and pivots in their life to get them to where that they are. So that's so powerful. And then how did the crystals come to be all encompassing in with that pivot in your purpose, if you will?
Yeah. So I definitely was interested in crystals as a kid. I remember my first trip to the Royal Ontario Museum, and I picked a little bag of crystals and I was fascinated by them, but it not really something that was big into my life until later in my life, when I actually started living with my partner, and he worked at this little restaurant right beside this crystal shop, and he used to bring me home crystals after work. And it just started as like a collection of gifts that he had given me, and then ones that I wanted to wrap to wear for myself. And he had actually taught me how to do my first crystal wrap. He taught me how to like cage a stone, and it was kind of just a love, like a hobby thing, and I just was fascinated with them myself. And then during the pandemic, actually, the whole entire company that I worked for was let go, and they were restructured. And during that time, my Etsy had picked up with my jewelry and my crystals, and I started to see that I was almost able to make what I was making at my professional job on Etsy, and that was mind-blowing to me. And so because I was having still challenges physically with my body and everything, I decided to just take the chance. And when they had reinvited everybody back on staff at my 9 to 5, I declined the offer, and I decided that I was just going to stick with what I was doing. And so the pandemic was the real kind of point for me where I just have now fully thrown myself into all of this. And the crystals kind of like this trickling hobby that turned into like my whole world.
I love it. I love it. And I'm a testament, like that's how I think I found you initially was through your crystals and through your jewelry. And I had so many of them, and I got them as gifts and gift them to so many people in my life. And just like the energy and the vibe of them is like so amazing. So definitely we're going to leave a link for you to check out her shop and support her, especially when it comes to manifestation. So manifestation is such a big topic this time of year, being in January when everybody's tuning in and listening to this. And crystals can actually be a support in that process of manifesting. So do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So crystals all kind of hold their own energy, and they've got their own unique kind of things that they do. It's kind of really magical when you put that intention behind it, or you have like a goal or something that you want to achieve, or you want to clear, or you just want to feel, and combine that with something that already exists, that is this like oscillating, vibrating thing of the earth. So I'll start with like one of the most obvious crystals that people talk about when they talk about like money and manifesting, and I'm gonna kind of debunk it a little bit. And this crystal is citrine. So I've got an example of it. This is one of my personal citrine pieces. It's quite dark. It's actually like a smoky citrine. So people talk about citrine on the internet. They're like, this is the money crystal. It's the money crystal. That's not true. It's not a money crystal. It's a manifestation crystal. And so it's going to manifest whatever you've got inside you. So if you're married to the idea that it's a money crystal, it'll be a money crystal, but it could also be a crystal for manifesting whatever other things that you are hoping for, that you're working towards outside of money. And sometimes citrine can be funny, because if you're not clear on what you want, or you're in a really bad mood, you're going to be manifesting that too. So citrine is definitely a crystal that I like to use intention behind. It's a great one to like cleanse with incense or under a tap every now and then before you use it, to set a fresh intention with it. But yeah, that's something to be mindful of when using citrine, is it's a manifestation stone, not a money stone. So it'll amplify whatever it is that you've got deep inside.
Do you want to speak to about citrine? Because I think I learned this from you, about how there's a lot of citrine that's out there that's not even really citrine.
Yes, that's a big one to watch out for. It makes me really sad. So often amethyst will be heated by man to turn yellow, to be called citrine. And so they got the idea from nature, because in nature, if amethyst underground is heated enough, there's this thing called ametrine, which is amethyst and citrine, where the earth will naturally turn an amethyst into a citrine. That is genuine citrine. But online, there's kind of been this huge, I don't even have an example of the false one. That would have been a good one to show.
I think I have one. I'm going to grab it while you.
Yeah, grab it.
Yeah.
It's very yellowy, but you can tell by the shape of the crystal that, I'm just going to continue talking. You can tell by the shape of the crystal that it was an amethyst, because they've basically been baked in an oven to turn yellow. And so it's not holding the actual energy of a citrine crystal, because it's an amethyst that has now changed. A great stone. It's still got the properties of likely amethyst, but usually citrine is marked up quite a bit, because it's harder to get. That's
like this one. Yeah, see? Yeah, I remember showing this to you, so everyone on YouTube can see like the difference. Maybe if you hold yours up and I can hold mine up, they can kind of see the difference, right?
And so I've got like this one too. So it can be brown. This is in a pendant form. It can be super brown, super smoky.
I think like this, I think this is legitimate, I think, from what I understood. It's a little bit more golden, like this. I don't know, you tell me.
I would say that they're both were both a
heated. They were both amethyst?
Because of the light quartz inclusion, that's what kind of tells me. They both got, well, the one's shaped, that one's tumbled there, but because it's got the clear quartz, you don't usually see that.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
You go. So it's good to know. And if you're listening to the like recording of this on a podcast form, I'll put a link to the YouTube so you can see side by side, so you can see the difference too. So I guess you're saying that the way to tell the difference is that if there's a lot of clear quartz embedded in it, that's the telltale sign that it was once amethyst. Yeah,
generally, because the amethyst, where that yellow is where the purple was. So if you can quickly swap out the yellow with the purple and you're like, wow, that's an amethyst, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but essentially, yeah. Citrine it'll usually be brown if it's from the Congo, deep brown smoky if it's from Brazil. I have seen it be a pale yellow from Brazil, but it's a different kind of yellow. It's not that sunny. It's a very subtle yellow. Almost, it's kind of like I've got one here in a pendant form. It's like you put on a piece of paper to really see, it's not like over exaggerated type of a yellow.
Not as bright. Okay, cool. Good to know. What's another one that is good for manifesting?
Before I go back into manifesting, I'm gonna actually circle back to like one of the basics, which is clearing, because what stops manifesting stuff is that we're blocked or we're hanging on to something, and hitting a resistance or yeah, like a block. And that can be standing in the way. So it's always good practice to do some cleansing, do some energy cleansing, whether it looks like cleaning up your home and then lighting some incense or some Palo Santo or using crystals, or your workspace or whatever space, your creative space, wherever you're trying to focus your energy. I would always recommend doing a good cleanse. Even if that looks like just breathing for 2 minutes, that can cleanse you as well. In terms of crystals, one really good one is this one here. This is another funny stone, satin spar selenite / ulexite. The internet is madly confused about this one as well. Either way, this stone carries a very high frequency where it's not able to absorb negative energy. And so that makes it a really good cleansing stone. So it's good to have it on your desk, or you can put like your jewelry on top of it to cleanse it after you've worn it all day. Yeah. And just holding it, you can feel right away, like it channels the energy and you can feel it taking away that heaviness, taking away that denseness. So it's a really, really nice one to have around. So I would always try to introduce some sort of cleansing stone into your routine, because sometimes it can be as simple as that. You're just feeling blocked.
Nice. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And even as like an energy healer and practitioner, I even use it in my sessions too. Like I think this is probably like the most used stone crystal, if you will, that I use in my sessions as well, to clear the field and to seal in all the good vibes too.
Love that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. What other stones are good for like general manifesting? And then maybe we can get into like specific, the main things that people manifest in the new year.
Totally. So there's a few. Pyrite is one that I love. People really are pulled into pyrite for obvious reasons. It's shiny, it's sparkly, it's beautiful. This is a stone of personal radiance. It helps you bring out your own inner sunshine. And based on the law of attraction, when you're feeling radiant and you're feeling good, you're going to attract things that are good. And so that's kind of how pyrite works. Pyrite is a stone of personal radiance, and it's also very grounding. It kind of really helps you feel good in yourself. So I really like pyrite. I love to have it around. I've got pyrite all over the place. It's a really good stone to have. Another one, which a lot of people like, is green aventurine, and I've got an example of it here. This is green aventurine.
Nice.
Green aventurine is really soothing, really cleansing. It's a good stone for the physical body, and it's a good luck stone. So people like to introduce that when they're starting a new endeavor or starting a new chapter or trying to bring in something new. And it's abundant in the way that nature is abundant. So I like that about green aventurine. Similar to green aventurine, malachite. That's another popular one. The internet. Okay. Malachite has a little bit more of rambunctious energy than some of the other stones. So it's a big transformer, can create some deep, deep heart change, but it'll take you on a different path. It can really uproot things if that's what's needed for you. So malachite, excuse me. Malachite definitely has a big energy to it when it comes to manifesting and bringing on something new.
Yes, big transformation stone. I know that that's how my malachite, I have one here, has really served me in its way.
Yeah.
So there's lots of big general things that a lot of people focus on manifesting in the new year. So like money, health, romance, business. Do you want to speak into, maybe let's start with love first? Like what's a good manifesting love stone?
Yeah, so a stone that's a little bit less heard of, because everybody knows about rose quartz. Rose quartz is great and it's beautiful, and definitely everyone should have some rose quartz in their collection. But a stone that's specifically tuned into harmony of the heart and relationship dynamics is kunzite. It's a very light purple stone. I don't have an example on me right now, but I do have some up in my shop. Kunzite really helps you call in harmony in the relationship that's right for you and that's meant for your highest good. And so I've seen people use kunzite who are like in a very rocky stage of their relationship, and it either the relationship ends and somebody new comes in, or one of the best kunzite stories I have was I had a friend who was doing a long distance relationship with her partner in the UK, and they were having such a rough time just because they weren't able to see each other and the cost of flights and everything. And she was seeking this kunzite stone for me, and I put together this necklace for her. And within weeks of her having this stone, they were engaged. She decided she was going to quit her job and move back to the UK to be with him. And it was just like that.
Wow.
Yeah. Like things
Amazing.
for her in the most beautiful way. So Kunzite is very special that way.
Amazing. I gotta check that stone out. I'm not too familiar with it. I think I've seen it on your page, but I need to add that one to my collection.
Yeah,
And what about health? You know, a lot of people have these big health goals with the new year. New year, new me. What kind of stone would help with that?
totally. I'm actually putting together some bundles right now. They're on my coffee table up there for health. And so the three stones that I'm going to put in my health bundle are tangerine quartz, serpentine, and iron quartz. So I'll start with tangerine. Tangerine quartz is a really good stone for having you feel back in your body. So whether you've like had a lot of x-rays or have been doing some like astral work where you've been leaving your body, there's many other ways where we dissociate from our physical selves, not associating positive or negative, just is sometimes. Tangerine quartz can help bring you back and bring you back into your body and into your just yourself and feeling kind of cohesive with yourself. So I really like tangerine quartz because physical healing can't happen if you're elsewhere. If you're here, if you're there, it won't happen. So I really like tangerine quartz for that. Serpentine, though, is the number one stone for me for physical health. I find that it resonates with the immune system in such a soft and gentle way. You just want to hold it. You just want to have it in your hand and have it around you. And I really like that stone for having a boost of protection and physical health. Serpentine is really, really great for that. And then iron quartz. A lot of the times, like our bodies can be deficient in things, and sometimes stones have them. For example, apatite has lithium, iron quartz has iron. So when you're holding these stones and you're rubbing on them, you're absorbing just a little bit, and so you're able to kind of get stuff that you would get from food or from your environment, also from crystals. So it's pretty cool.
Amazing. That's so cool. I never thought of that. I love that.
Yeah.
What about money? A lot of people have big financial goals with the new year. What stones would you recommend for that?
So for money, it's a little bit of manifestation. So definitely go for citrine if you're feeling clear. If you're feeling very, very set and you know, have a clear idea of what you want. Putting together these fiery bundles, I actually have it right here, for money manifestation for the new year. And they've got some stones that maybe people haven't heard of before, and I'm actually really excited about them. So this one is called Fulgurite. It was created, so most crystals are created over millions of years, fossilization, time, pressure. This stone here was created in an instant from a lightning struck in the desert.
What?
So this is a crystal that is literally crystallized sand from the moment of a lightning strike.
Wow.
From the desert. So where other stones have this long thing with time, this is like an instant. And it's almost one where you want to be careful with as well. You want to be very clear with. There's this lore around Fulgurite. And so I found pieces that have a hole right through them like a straw. And so the lore is that you put your intention, you get really clear on it, and you blow through the piece of Fulgurite the intention that you want to the universe. But you've got to be very direct with your intention. Because just as fast as that strike of lightning hit the ground, that's as fast as your wish is going to kind of be heard by the universe.
Wow.
So that's Fulgurite. I know it's really hard to see about. This is my mama piece.
Amazing.
Very different, very weird. Really curious to see how this is going to go. I'm combining it with Sunstone. Sunstone is a well-known radiant stone. It's really good for bringing on abundance, luck. A lot of people like to put sunstone in their wallets. I've got a sunstone in my wallet. That's one of my favorites. With gold and apatite. This one's a pretty safe money stone. So if you're looking for a money stone where you don't have to be too, you might not be so sure on your goals. You just kind of have an idea that you're wanting something more. You're wanting some abundance, some lightness. You don't want to have to be held to every word and every desire. Golden apatite is the sunny, radiant little money companion that will just help bring the sweeter things to you.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
And then last to pair with it is a little Herkimer diamond. Herkimer is a little energy amplifier. So they'll basically just put your intentions tenfold. Whatever you're trying to put forth, the Herkimer will just be like that mic
I
to
love
amplify.
it. We're going to put some direct links, I think, in the show notes so that you can check out these bundles and hopefully they'll be available and not all sold out by the time this episode is out, so you can check them out and have easy access.
Mhm.
Lastly, what about business manifestation for all of the entrepreneurs out there?
Business. A lot of people like pyrite. That's usually, it's a really common gift, especially for people who are starting new businesses. It's light, it's fun, it's radiant. It's a really, really good one to bring into your business. I also really like orange calcite. It's not one that people would think about when it comes to money, but again, starting with the law of attraction and just feeling good about yourself and that like sunny, radiant inner energy. Orange is, yeah. Oh, I
This is
love
from
that.
her. I love this one. It's on my desk at all times. It's so, I don't know. I love this stone. When I saw it, she had like an Instagram sale, and I'm like, okay, I need one of these. And it's been so good, and I never heard of it before. And I don't know, it's sunshine, it's radiant, it's a beautiful stone to have on your desk for all you entrepreneurs listening. Highly recommend.
I love that.
Amazing. Okay,
One
is there anything else that you want to add? Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually fluorite. It's not nothing to do with money, doesn't have anything, it just has to do with clarity of mind and getting your thoughts organized and getting maybe your business organized and retaining new information in a way that you can easily access it. Fluorite would definitely be a good one to have because it helps you be really, really clear.
And it comes in so many different colors too, right?
It comes in purple. I've got like some rough pieces that look kind of they've got like purple and green. Some are just green. Yeah, fluorite is really versatile.
I love it. For focus too, I found has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
For the stage. Awesome. Okay. And do you want to talk a little bit about where they can connect with you to purchase all of your beautiful crystals and learn about like your sound healing and your music and all that you have going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Instagram is my main platform. Really easy to get in touch with there. Happy to answer direct messages and put together custom bundles for people. My Instagram is seaoflight.ca. Instagram, you could find links to my Etsy, and probably by January, you're going to find a link to my website as well, which is www.seaoflight.ca. You can check that out. It's live. I've got more inventory on my Etsy at the moment, but that's going to change. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me. And I do a lot of my music off of my main personal page, which is just Maria Cenzina. So we'll just throw a link up there. But yeah, I love to hear from you. Please reach out. If there's any crystal that you had in mind that you were seeking that you might not see, I have a very abundant source. And so I'm usually able to pull things quite easily. And I actually find quite joy from doing these custom orders. So please do reach out.
Yes, definitely. She's very informative. She'll put you in the right direction. And even if you have like an intention and maybe you're not too sure about what crystal, she can always do lots of amazing recommendations for you. Thank you for coming on. I always learn so much about like different crystals I've never heard of before in every conversation that we have. And definitely check out and support small businesses just like Maria's and all the beautiful things that she's creating.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It was such a pleasure.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I'll upload a new video on Thursday. See you in the next one. Bye.